Hello, I'm Daniel. I host the Kansas City Meditation Podcast, and I lead practice at Ubuntu Village in Kansas City, Missouri every Monday at 7 p.m. If you're in Kansas City, you should come see me. These teachings will always be offered free of charge, but if you feel compelled to make a donation, please see the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening. Today, I want to address the question, what if I'm too busy to meditate? What if I'm too busy to meditate? This is one of a few things that people often say in a casual way when they find out that I meditate. I want to be very clear. This is something that comes up in a general conversation, not usually in a teaching context. But people find out I meditate, or people find out I teach meditation, and they say either some version of, "That's so cool, I wish I could calm my mind down, but I can't," or some other version of wishing they could do it because they think it's easy for me. Of course, they think that they can't do it, but other people can. And I find that question very weird, but the one I find weirder is some version of, "I wish I had the time, I'm so busy. I just try to pay attention to my day-to-day life. I want to meditate, but I have such an active life, I can't do it." So with that in mind, I'll put on my meditation teacher hat and I'll answer the question, how do you make time to meditate in a busy schedule? Because really that's a better question, and the answer is you have to make time. You have time for what you make time for. If someone says they don't have time to meditate, I don't really believe them. I don't really believe them. I'm not going to lie to you. I've fallen off the cushion a lot of times. I'm a normal person like you, and I know that I should meditate every day, and I want to meditate every day, but I don't do it. There was a time when I did, and then I stopped for a while, and then I started again, and sometimes I do well at meditating every day, and other times I don't. The truth is, it's really easy to not meditate. We have 10 million distractions around us all the time. But if you think the problem is that you don't have time, you're wrong. You don't have to dedicate an hour every day to practice, or even half an hour. Even simply sitting for 10 minutes a day, or even 5 minutes, can bring great benefit. Or if that's too hard, even once a week. The point is regularity. This is when I do it, and I always do it, matters a whole lot more than doing it a long time. And yes, it helps a lot to go to a meditation group, like the one I have Monday nights, but that's obviously, it's harder to make time for a meditation group because you have time to get there, you have time to get home, you have to go somewhere, right? So that's harder. And maybe I believe some people don't have time to go to a meditation group, but you have time to meditate at home. It's just hard. When I first started practicing meditation many years ago, I would just meditate when I felt like it. I would just meditate when it would occur to me, when the idea came to me to do it, then I would do it. And that, of course, led to not doing it very often. The thing is this, meditation is like anything else we're trying to get better at, anything that's for our well-being. It's just like going to the gym or practicing to play an instrument or whatever. You don't get it right away, and you don't get better unless you practice over and over with regularity. So the important thing is routine. So what works for a lot of people is you either put it into your morning routine or your evening routine. So morning routine, that is, get up, go to the bathroom, take a shower, meditate, eat breakfast, go to work, right? And then the other thing is evening routine, whatever you do before bed, that's what you can do as well. And the other thing you can do is, of course, find a friend to meditate with, make a plan. Just like how going to the gym is easier with a workout buddy, meditation's easier when you aren't doing it alone. So if you don't have an ability to get to a meditation group, and the number one thing is, of course, ask someone in your house to do it with you. And if they won't, then find someone outside of your house to get together and meditate. Now, and this is a fact that some people might live in rural areas and be very far away from anyone to meditate with, but an overwhelming majority of the people listening to me now live 30 minutes or less from a Buddhist temple or meditation center. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And whatever centers are around you, there may be something you don't like about them, and that can be something we may have to set aside. And it doesn't matter if the place around you isn't exactly what you want. The point is that there's a place to go sit. So if you don't have the tremendous strength of resolve that it takes to meditate by yourself in your house, then go somewhere where people are meditating, because there's a very strong chance wherever you live, somewhere around people are meditating. And there's advantages to both sides, of course. If you meditate by yourself, then you can set aside the time that's best for you and you can do it then. But a lot of people just won't do that. Just won't do that. You try to set aside time for yourself to do it by yourself and in your house, but then you sit down to do it and you start thinking of all the things you could be doing to clean your house, or all the fun things you could be doing because you're at home. And that's why going to a meditation center is helpful to a lot of people. It's just the downside of that, of course, is you have to leave your house. You have to set aside travel time to get there and back, and you have to be around people, and maybe you don't want to socialize. And the truth is, though, in a lot of places, you can just go in and sneak out. You don't have to socialize. And if you want to socialize, you can. So I think there is something with most of us with our minds that going out and doing it makes it more meaningful to us. And it's the same thing with yoga. You can do a lot of yoga at home, but people like to go out and go to a yoga studio or a gym or whatever and do it. And again, there's a lot of working out you can do at home without equipment, right? But people like to go somewhere, and it can be the same with meditation. The truth is that if I'm meditating by myself at home and I sneak a peek at my phone, nobody knows. And if I meditate in a group and I sneak a peek at my phone, well, that's embarrassing, right? So there's one other option besides meditating at home and going to a center where they do meditation, and that seems more daunting. And that's just starting a group of your own. You don't need to rent a place. You can do it in your living room or in a park or something. You just have to have at least one friend who's dedicated to doing it with you. And then you create events on Meetup or Facebook or whatever, and just try to get people to come or put out flyers or whatever. And I mean, that's what I did. I started my own meditation group. I'm renting a space because when I tried to do it in my living room, it didn't really work out. And I had an outdoor space that was free, but it got cold. So I'm renting a place, and it's pretty cheap. And donations don't quite cover it, but they almost do. And you could rent a space too. Yoga studio or a event center, whatever's around you. I don't know. And then your living room's always an option. If no one comes, you just sit by yourself. But actually, just the potential of people coming will hold you accountable too. So that's what I wanted to say. I guess that's about it for today. I just wanted to talk about what can we do if we're too busy to meditate. You just got to find the tools to help yourself, whether that be a group or creating a group of your own, or if you're one of the lucky people that just has a really easy time, all you have to do is set that routine and make yourself do it. You have that power. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.